After about 20 hours of process of this mixture for composting kitchen scraps bokashi, the temperature is going up 93 degrees Fahrenheit, which is very, very good. Even in this small amount of materials, is starting to respond. As you can see, I use this plastic to cover it up this way so I can keep the heat inside the box. Because there is an empty space here. That's why I recommend you to start with the 1.5 gallons, or better, 2 gallons will fit perfectly on this composter of 11 gallons. So today we are not going to do anything. As I mentioned before, I just recommend you to take a feeling, smell it. Um, if you have the thermometer, check the temperature, and that's it. Don't do anything else on the first 24 hours. Day 2, after 48 hours of initiated the process of composting. As you can see, I put this piece of carpet on top of the box to help to keep the heat inside the box. But using something like this helps just to remove it, and you have the lid just easy to open. We are going to check the temperature while we check the smell. This time it feels with a very, very good amount of heat. Heat is going up. The smell is like a transformation process. Fermentation is doing very well. It's doing as expected. Temperature rising up. Today, we are going to turn it over without disturbing too much. We don't need to lift it up too much. Just turn it like this. Aerating and turning it like this until we do the whole thing with 2 hands, of course, and with gloves. I always forget to put the gloves on. I'm gonna do it after stop recording because I just wanted to show you with 2 hands you can do this. Do not lift it up too much so you don't lose too much heat. Okay, and continue piling the mixture on one side so we can retain most of the heat. That's all we are gonna do today. Day 3, following show 1, composting bokashi. As you can see, I'm installed this piece of carpet in order to keep the heat inside the composter. We can also see the water condensation on the lid, what is telling us that the compound is really heating up. I also installed this piece of plastic to help even better to keep the heat inside the composter. Let's check the temperature. Just look at it. It is amazing how this small batch of only 1 gallon of kitchen scraps is heating up this much. That is a perfect temperature. We want our compound to stay between 110 and 130 degrees Fahrenheit. And in order to do that, we need to turn it over. It don't matter at what day number we are at. One way to help us keep it in the desired temperature is creating some cooling channels, which are also called aeration channels. This helps a little, not that much. The best way to do it, the best way to keep it in the desired temperature is to turn it over. Sometimes even twice a day. Day 4, following show 1 composting bokashi. I just noticed that the date is incorrect. It should be 2/13/26, but I will change the tag later. I can see that the humidity is still very good. We'll see how it goes next 2 following days. For now, I'm just going to turn it over. The temperature is okay. We normally should expect 110 degrees Fahrenheit to 130 degrees Fahrenheit during the first 6-8 days. But for this small batch, it is okay. You can also notice that the compound is full of great population of microorganisms. That white stuff are colonies of microorganisms. So that's it for today. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Today is 5th day of show 1 composting bokashi. There is a lot of water condensed on the lid. That means that our mixture is doing very well. It's kind of hot right now. So let's check how hot it is. Today, I'm going to put back this condensed water. As you can see, I did not put the plastic on top of the mixture to let it breathe better. Look at that. One small batch of bokashi is reaching more than 130 degrees Fahrenheit, which is awesome. It's very, very good. Today is the 5th day, so I have to decide if I turn it over to prevent the mixture to reach over 135, or I can let it go till all the temperature can be reached. So we're gonna leave it there and see what temperature reaches tomorrow. Sometimes it goes down. This is a very small batch, but this temperature is very, very good. At this temperature, with a few hours, we already kill most of the seeds. And with these many hours, we probably also kill most of the pathogens. So I'm not going to do anything else today. Just checking, showing you guys how it's doing. I'm proving you that it can be possible to compost small batches of kitchen scraps if we do composting bokashi. Day 6 of following show 1 composting bokashi. Let's check how hot it is. As you can remember, yesterday it reached 132, 133 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, it has cooled down a lot. But that doesn't mean that enters the cooling down stage. It just means that it needs more oxygen. It needs to be aerated in order to continue the process. Remember that composting bokashi is an aerobic process. One thing you have to notice is that there is some water accumulation on the bottom of the composter. That is telling us that all the dry components have already been saturated with as much water as they can hold. So we need to start getting rid of the extra water. One thing we are going to do today is just go ahead and suck up the extra water with a towel or with a rag, just a little bit. It's not that much, but it's going to help a little before we aerate the compound. Starting tomorrow, we are going to get rid of the condensed water on the lid. And there are some other techniques we can use to reduce the amount of water in the compound, but I will show you when the day comes. Today, I'm also going to share with you how to aerate the compound correctly. Remember to wear gloves all the time you handle the composting bokashi. I have my gloves on. I'm gonna go ahead and start aerating the compound. At this time, as it's not that hot, we need to try to keep that heat inside the compound. So we don't need to lift it up. We are going to do it like that. At the end, it doesn't seem too wet, but like I said, we really need to start discarding the water condensed on the lid. So this is the correct way to turn over or to aerate our composting bokashi. And then we are going to pile it up again to one side. And that's it. Today is the seventh day of show one, composting bokashi. We're still having some warm temperature. It didn't go up too much, but this is telling us that there's still some microbial activity. I'm going to aerate it again and see what happens tomorrow. This compound is going very, very fast, which is beautiful. It's very good. As you can see, the particles are starting to look more like a almost finished bokashi. Today is the eighth day of show one, composting bokashi. The temperature stayed around 73 degrees Fahrenheit, which is telling me that the micros is still working. The room temperature is 45 degrees. So definitely this temperature is coming from the micros activity. Just by looking at the particles, I can tell that this bokashi is about to enter the cooling down period. But I'm just going to wait another day or two and see if it won't heat up again. Today I'm going to aerate it and we'll see how it looks like tomorrow. I would like to tell you that the smell of this bokashi smell already like a soil, a fertile soil, a forest soil. So it is beautiful. It went so fast through the process of transformation. Today is the ninth day of show one, composting bokashi. The mixture is going down on temperature. Right now we have 63 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees below than it was yesterday. So I consider this mixture on the cooling down stage. I'm gonna keep aerating it for another 2 days, and then I will extend it on the whole area I have available in the composter in order to let it lose some humidity and have it ready for storage. At this time, you can also incorporate it into the soil if you have to. If the conditions out there were good to do it, we can do it. We can also use it as a bokashi tea using your own recipe. The bokashi tea can be applied foliar or on the ground. Today is the 10th day of show 1 composting bokashi. This compound did not heat up again. It went down to room temperature, which is telling me that the high period of activity is done. Now the compound is entering the cooling down stage where it's not going to heat up again anymore. I'm pretty sure about that. And soon it's entering into the maturing stage. Today, what I'm going to do is to extend it over the box all the way, covering all the space of the box in order to let it lose a little bit more humidity. This compound, it is actually good on this amount of humidity for one of my methods of storing. At this time of the year, which is winter here in Colorado, Denver, I cannot incorporate it into the soil because the soil is not workable. So I have to find a way to storage until I have chance to do it. I have two methods. I'm not going to share with you how I prepare my compounds for storage on those two methods. During this period, it's also recommended to incorporate it. But like I said, in my case, it's impossible. But if you guys can incorporate it where you live at the 10th day when the bokashi looks like this one, go ahead and do it. This stage is when the compound really have most of the nutrients available for plants. So if you have the opportunity to incorporate it, go ahead and do it. Don't wait too long. I'm not going to do another 24 hours following up because it is not necessary. As you can see, this is very done, so it's not necessary to give you another video for the next following 24 hours. One important indication of the complexion of the compound is the smell. Now it smells like a tobacco and it smells a little bit like ammonium. Just a little bit, tiny bit, which is telling me that this compound has enough nitrogen to be shared with plants. We don't want a compound with the excess of nitrogen because it will really uh, be a strong smell around the area, around the room where you keep the bokashi. I have a bokashi going right now that are experimenting with some ingredients, and right now is expelling a lot of nitrogen around the air. But sometimes you have to take the situations to the limits in order to learn how much and when to apply the different ingredients into the compound because that compound is an enriched bokashi. I also want to share with you how to enrich your bokashi to apply it on different situations during the plant growing season. Thanks for watching. Enjoy and take care of nature.